at you with another gaming video. Today I'm in here with my friends, back here on the Division. This is my crew, and so we are doing a new thing today. This is called Double Talk, where it is pretty much just kind of like a podcast where we play through the game. And so I've got Marty, and I've got Cab in
Hi.
here with me today. So let's get into things. So we're all here on the Division, and Marty's almost all the way up to level 30, but he's done all the missions, and he forgot to do all the side missions.
Another Division video, and I'm here with my friends, Patriot Gaming and Cabins. So we're doing a new installment of Division today, and this is going to be called Double Talk. So as you guys can see in the top right corner, I am getting closer and closer to being max rank on Division. Once that's done, I will tell you guys now, definitely Division Dark Zone videos will be up, definitely, because I really want to do some Dark Zone, but I've been holding out to max bracket level. So yeah, that's going to be the video today. I'll make sure I'll leave a link in the description to go check out Patriot. Let's get into it.
Yeah, so Marty forgot to do all of his side missions on his way to level 30 and through all the missions, so we're all doing those right now, which it kind of makes it perfect for us for doing this double talk here. So I mean, it goes with the flow. It makes things nice. But anyway, so what I thought we would do was we'd start off the day by talking about the Division and just kind of like the end game and the game itself from how it stands right now. Because, as you guys all should know, that there has been an update, but we will talk about that a little bit later, because most of us haven't been able to try it out. So, but going off the first part of this, we've all done all the missions, and to say the first part of this, so guys, you guys are free to chime in whenever you want, but so the missions, a little bit lackluster. What do you guys think?
Some of the missions were. Some of them had actually depth in them. There was one where you were in the area and they said you have to go find someone's girlfriend. And you found her and you had to go through a couple buildings and you actually found her at their favorite spot playing the piano out in the middle by the river. So
Yeah.
I thought that was actually kind of cool. I can't remember the name of it.
I mean, I thought that one was pretty cool too, but the thing is about it is, like, I like the part that it actually has depth and substance to the story, but there isn't that much story to go around. It was pretty much like a short story, pretty much, is what I see it as.
Let's go do that.
It's kind of like a short story. I mean, it was
way to travel.
It was a little bit lackluster in my eyes. I mean, I wish I had some more missions to go through. Hey guys, let's grab some of these tools before we take off. Be able to craft some stuff later.
I mean, we have to say that yes, Division has been out for what, about 3 weeks now? I'd say 3, 4
Isn't
weeks.
it like 2? I thought it was like 2.
Oh, it's only been 2. Well, it's been out for 2 weeks, and the thing is missions were good. They were a bit in a way, because there wasn't enough of them, I'd say. But the idea of once you hit that max level to go do dailies and, you know, the challenge modes, I think that brought a whole new aspect into the game. So it showed for the people that spent their time, you know, getting that level and getting there to that max rank, it showed that they really need to now work harder to get good stuff. And I think that's a good thing that, you know, Tom Clancy have going for them. They'll get their members that play their games to work hard to get good stuff. And I think
Yeah, I mean, I definitely see that part of it. I definitely see the part of the putting in the harder missions and the hard modes and the challenging modes to get people to play more together, because the initial story I did that pretty much all by myself. Going through this character that I'm on right now, the other character I've been playing mostly with friends. It's been a friend's account, just chilling with those guys and leveling him up. But on this account, I mean, you can see that the game was really made to be without that, and then at the very end game, it's really, if you really want to get all the good gear, like in Destiny, it's pretty much saying that, A, you need to go and have like this big freaking party of friends But the great thing about that is like unlike Destiny, it wouldn't actually had the substance of saying like here we have a way to matchmake you. Destiny for raids and that kind of stuff never really had that, which I think is a definite
Yeah.
is a step in the right direction for MMORPGs all alike. It really helps out.
Yeah, I
I do
mean
like
that
that blind
matchmaking is the
matchmaking.
strength in it. Yeah.
I mean,
So
you just want to jump in a mission and just go in, and it is voice chat already on it, so
yeah, I mean
if you're one
you
of
can
I
still
mean,
run a
one of the
mission all by
best
yourself. It's
things
just a
they've
lot harder.
implemented to the game is once game chat goes off, and especially this is one of the tips I'd say for Dark Zone definitely, is when you go into Dark Zone or anywhere and you, especially in Dark Zone, when you switch your game chat, anybody near that area, whether they're in your group or not, will instantly be able to speak to you if they go into game chat as well.
yeah, when you're around the disease and you're hearing someone talking crap about how they're gonna take you out, you're like, hey dude, I can hear you. I'm running.
Yeah, it's like I can hear you, bro, and then you just kind of like you all. That's a good thing, but you know
Yeah.
I'd like to go back to the story missions though, with the fact that I really am glad about the part where they do cater to the fact that there are solo players out there, and that there are
Mm.
groups that like to play, and so they don't have all so all the missions aren't the same when you so say you it's just me running through a mission and every encounter there's going to be like 15 enemies that I'm sure that I'm going to run into, but then I
Yeah.
run into a mission and I have a full party of 4. Well, now there's going to be like 60 enemies that we have to go through, and so they just make it exponentially harder for when you have a group, which I think is a great way to do it because I mean it helps out the group more than if you were like solo and you. I mean, it's same way of. I mean, let me go and word this differently. So it's pretty much like saying, I'm gonna go into this mission by myself. Okay, well now I want to go into this mission all, with a group. Well, there's no incentive to do it. Well, now there is an incentive to do it because you all get more XP, and you get more. You get the sense of hanging out with your friends and being a little bit more tactical with flanking maneuvers and suppressing. Definitely going through this game alone, I have seen that suppression has had a great impact, especially going through challenge modes. We definitely have to go and like suppress certain enemies and be like, we gotta hold them down and get them down because otherwise they're just gonna wreck us. So I mean, definitely
Yeah.
a great thing that we have is suppression in the game that we all use to our advantage.
Hey, I'm gonna go back to your story really quick. I actually saw two stories in this game. You have the story of the second wave that you're coming out, the virus, the disease, and you got the second story of how we're trying to keep the city together, stuff like
Yeah,
that. So a lot of the missions that we do, we are literally just trying to keep the city together, and along the way, this is gonna hurt. Um, we find bits and pieces of the viruses come, and then when you do the United Nations one, you got that little side mission after that. I'm not going to spoil anything, but that sums up the whole play. And then you got your secondary, where you're trying to keep the city together. And there's a little
Yeah.
third story context too on it. If you guys ever played the Dark Souls series,
I actually
the only
haven't.
way to actually get the only way you really get the story is with the gear, and there's always little pieces of interesting things in the gear telling you like certain characters lore the area and such. So what I found doing here is picking up the phone surveillance and survival guides and stuff like that. If you play them all together, you can catch some of the story of what's going on with the people here
Yeah, and
and how the
I'm
lore
definitely
and
been
everything's
doing that.
going on.
Me personally, I've been collecting them all, and I currently have I think it's 100 more items left to go through. And when that happens, I'm just gonna go up on my channel, and every week I'm gonna release every single bit, but like every single bit that there is in the game to give everybody just a general understanding of, because most of them are prior to the collapse, as I'd like to call it.
Yeah, yeah. There's some going. You can pick up some where you can actually people talk about how they're turning to like the last man standing group and they're pillaging and raping.
Yeah.
So
Hey guys, I'm going down here to go and grab weapon parts. Just by the way. So yeah, I definitely see that part. I really like that, but then there's also the part to it, where in Destiny they had the same kind of thing, but they put it all into Grimoire cards. So I think what we're getting here in the Division is definitely a much better step in the direction of storytelling, even though you can't really put it all into a game, because that would make the game exponentially huge and make it really, really hard for developers. Even though, cough, cough, this game had how long to come out? Like, didn't they release this in
3 years.
E3 like 2013? So like 3 years they had to work on this
This
thing.
was postponed for 3 years. This game.
I mean, for 3 years this could have been a lot better. But then again, I also have to think of the fact that this game was made for. I mean, it must have just been thought up as to do the two consoles, as in PS3 and PS4, Xbox One and Xbox 360, along with PC. So that must have put a little bit of strain. But then, more than likely, later on down the road, they probably just thought, "Hey, let's go and cut out the prior consoles," and then they kept on pushing it back. Which, after they kept on pushing it back, I would have thought that they would have put a little bit more effort into the game. But then again, I also have to you have to look at this part where here in April 1st we're going to be getting the first expansion, or the first free update, called which is Incursions, pretty much. So that's a great thing that you really haven't seen in many other games, is these free expansions.
Yo, named enemies, guys. Named enemies.
Oh, sweet, named enemy. Okay, we got these guys.
Can I get a Phoenix point?
Phoenix credits.
Please, high end, please.
Well, I mean, let's go on that too.
I'm
I mean,
guessing
Phoenix
that
credits,
I have
guys.
0% on my scavenger. I somehow have 0 on my scavenger.
Scavenging level.
Done.
All purple.
So I mean, looking at the Phoenix credits side, I mean, I think that's a great way to extend the life of a game, especially with the fact that you got 3 different kinds of currency, but one of them is pretty much an end game currency. Look out, explosion. And I really like that.
I think one of the things they did when they were developing this, they were watching other games like Destiny, and we talked about it before we went live here. Weapons. I mean, how many times did we go through Destiny and we got a weapon we liked, and boom, it was completely utterly useless because the levels,
Oh,
caps,
yeah.
and such.
Well, these weapons in
For
here,
example,
I
as
think
you're
that
saying,
they.
Gallahorn.
But that's the thing
Gallahorn,
about
big
games
thing.
like MMOs in general, is that happens. That kind of stuff happens, and you really can't defend against it, except for do what Destiny did, which I really like how they did this in year 2, how they brought back the old weapons, like the old raid weapons, and they were like, oh hey, we're gonna bring them up to new light level, which I really think was a great idea on their part.
What I think they're doing with this is, I can't definitely say it, but if you look at, I mean, we can mine weapons crazy. I think the weapon base will probably be normal. I think it's as the expansions come out and stuff like that, it's going to be the mods that are going to let us keep the weapons we like, but add more to it.
Yeah.
And I think armor and gear, is going to change, because if you look at the Incursion, you got to have like a certain armor level or something like that. I can't remember how it was worded, but you know, so it's telling me I have to be at a certain level to get somewhere. So I think weapons are going to change out with mods, and I don't mind leveling up armor. That's actually a fun part.
Yeah, leveling up your armor and that kind of stuff was one of the better things that I liked about Destiny, especially with the fact, like, I like the fact that you have to you get certain stats with your weapons and armor in here, and you have to get certain stats to unlock certain perks on your armor. But I think it'd just be a lot better, instead of doing that it would just be a leveling system, because there's a lot of perks on my guns that and there's certain setups that I like to run that I don't like to just be I like to run solo quite often, so I don't want to be stuck sitting here rolling with the damage at high, and that's about it, like little health and all that kind of stuff. So
I did catch that though, that this game lets you play any class. If I want to be a player, if I want to be a healer, if I want to be a hybrid, if I want to be support, if I want to be damage, I can go in and tweak it. So
yeah.
instead of 3 different classes,